It was more like a service of celebration for the life of the Reverend Peter Hall. Baptist churches all over the country closed their sanctuaries of worship to pay their respects Sunday, February 14, 2010. Hall passed away at his home on February 2, 2010. The Blue Hills Bethany Baptist Church was filled to capacity and the outside filled with projectors and tents. Officiating the service was Pastor Derek Hamilton.
Peter Hall was a model preacher, pastor, evangelist, husband, and father. He was a model leader. I don't know that he knew it at the time, but he seemed to have lived by the rule of succession.
Pastor John Malcolm of the Mount Olivet Baptist Church in South Caicos described Reverend Peter Hall as his mentor.
And I like to think that my mentor and my pastor is in many ways an uncommon mentor. You see, because our lives were so diversely opposite to each other, he was always recognized as a true man of God.
Also speaking at the celebration service was former Chief Minister of the TCI and cousin, Derek Taylor, also nephew Lee Penn. The Reverend Reuben Hall of the Salem Baptist Church presented the As I Knew Him.
I first met him in the late 60s when he made a visit home and came to visit my mom. That was brief, but at least now I knew him. By that time, I had been exposed some. And then later on, as his obituary would show, when he came to take up pastoral work with the Turks and Caicos Islands Baptist Union in 1972, I then, from time to time, began to know him more.
Adopted son, the Reverend Terrence Morrison of Mount Zion Church in Nassau, Bahamas, also paid tribute.
I thought that there is a side that ought to be acknowledged in the midst of this August gathering. And that is the tremendous work that the Reverend Peter Owen Hall did within the archipelagic nation of the Bahamas.
Reverend Peter Hall will be fondly remembered by his wife, Beatrice Louise Hall, his 8 children, 18 grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and a host of other relatives and friends. May his soul rest in peace. For WIV4 News, I'm Takara Bain.